Yo, what's going on, y'all? So today I want to have a conversation about workplace harassment. The backstory behind this is just a few days ago, Thursday I think it was, at my job, we had a workplace harassment meeting, right? And in general, most of this stuff is common sense, right? I don't have a problem with rules against workplace harassment. That's not what I'm here to talk about. My issue with these things always stems from the fact that the West has what can only be described as the most craziest system for how they handle it. It's just asinine. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not harassment that I think is being handled wrong, or that I think that there shouldn't be rules against harassment. My issue comes in when you start bringing in these protected groups, quote unquote, these protected classes. This is where you start having an issue, right? So let's take a look at what some of these protected classes are, right? You're protected from discrimination based off of race, national origin, your color, religion, your sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, all that stuff, pregnancy, all of that. Disabilities, being old, literally being over 40. Being pregnant, having kids. Your genetic information, family medical history. These are things that consider you a protected class, right? So I'm going to have a grown-up conversation with y'all, and I'm going to assume that you guys work, and that you work in an environment where these types of conversations come up, right? So the conversation evolved into questions about transgender people and misgendering people. That's where the conversation kind of evolved into, because what we're dealing with is an environment where you can't misgender people. You can't call if you think someone is a gender, you can't call them that. You can't ask either. You can't ask, or it's harassment. You can't call them the wrong gender, or it's harassment. But you have to call them by the name. I learned about the term dead name. Now, being a YouTuber, you become pretty familiar with these terms: cisgender, LGBTQIA, all the ABCD, LMNOP, all that stuff. You get familiar with it. But I never heard the term dead name. And what it is saying is that you have to address the person by the name that they choose to be called. But not just that, you have to address them as the gender that they choose to be addressed as. Meaning that if you see a boy and he identifies as a girl, but he says he's a girl, you have to call him a girl. And this isn't something that's new or brand new. We've been having these same conversations about basic common sense, genetic science, and basic common sense. I don't care what you believe. I'm never going to bend on the fact that I believe there are two genders, male and female. You're either male or you're female. I do not believe in that whole make mistake, born in the wrong gender and all that kind of stuff. With that being said, if you choose to do it and you're an adult, I don't agree with it, but whatever floats your boat. I have no control over that. I don't agree with forcing that on children. I don't agree with promoting it to children or encouraging it to children. And I also don't believe that I should have to call people a gender that they aren't just because they say they are. So, if I say that I'm a lion or a tiger or alligator or a hippo or even better, an extinct white rhino, you have to address me as such then, right? So, this is the conversation that we're dealing with. And most people would think it's common sense. You know, you don't just sit there and just walk up and just ask somebody like, hey, what are you? What were you born as, right? But when you don't know, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? So, the lady, after a couple people asked similar questions, the lady finally says, well, you know, I'm a cisgender woman, and you wouldn't, would you ask me that? That's the question. Somebody else asked, okay, well, if we're so worried about protecting or covering for this group, this protected class, this group, and someone asked, and this person is a Christian. So this person asked, okay, so what if that person in their same sex relationships are in fact offending me? What if when they put pictures of them together, or they paraded, or the public PDA, let's take away PDA because we're talking about workplace. So when they put pictures together and they do this, and they talk about their marriage and all this stuff, they're offending me because I'm a Christian, right? So that got my brain a ticking, because I'm like, you know what? That's actually a good point. The reason why that's a good point is because, and I actually asked this, because let's say, for example, I just got dumped. So, because I just got dumped, everybody that's in a happy relationship offends me now. Everybody. So, are you, HR, are you going to take that same energy and say everybody has to take pictures of their relationships down to appease that person? You're not going to do that. They got to suck it up. So now, if you can see what I'm doing, I'm trying to figure out where the line is that they draw. The woman said, I'm a cisgender woman. You wouldn't ask me that, right? So now, I ask the question, where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line? Because when you sit there and you say that this protected class, if they feel offended, you have to bend, because that's essentially what they're saying. You have to bend. But if you call me a cisgender male, what if that offends me? What if you calling me a cisgender male offends me? Because based off of what I believe you are what you were born as. Not just that, I didn't choose to be a male. I was born a male. You telling me that I'm cisgendered is insulting. Right? It's insulting. So, where's my protection? Where's my defense? No answer. No answer. Just word salad. I tune her out because it's word salad. What's the answer to that? %90 of people in the room don't know what cisgender means. Shout out to you if you actually get what I'm implying. Because there's only a few types of people that actually know what cisgender means and will actually use it in conversation. You take a guess. One is the alphabet community, people that are familiar with the alphabet community, or people that are I don't want to say, well, studying the LGBT community. I guess let's put it like that. Them kind of words, if these debates weren't online, I never know what a cisgender person is. Cisgender. What is that? These same people that are always crying about labels want to put labels on you. Now it's just not enough for you to be a straight man, a normal straight guy. Now you're cisgendered because you had to make the choice to be what you are. Well, that fundamentally goes against my beliefs. So where is my protection? HR. That's why I want to have this conversation. Because let's just be real. Let's just really think about it. Some protected classes are more protected than others. Some protected classes are more protected than others. And what they're essentially saying is that if I'm Christian, if I'm conservative, perfect example, politics, right? They always say don't talk about politics in the workplace, right? Nobody ever follows that rule. But guess when that politics become a problem, right? It becomes a problem when you start talking about you're a fan of Donald Trump or you're a conservative. Then all of a sudden you're creating a hostile work environment. All of a sudden you're making other employees uncomfortable. While they sit up and turn a blind eye to the little girl sniffer. The senile old man that like to sniff little girls. But you mad about an orange man? Like, okay. So whatever. Orange man bad. Fair enough. But this is what we're dealing with here. This is what we're dealing with here. Certain people, certain classes are more protected than others. And that's just what it is. Yeah, my inclusion, my diversity, my protection matters until I'm Christian and conservative. Now you're just a bigot just like the rest of them, right? It's just like this is a joke. It's a joke because at the end of the day, anybody, as long as you are in a protected class, you can get offended by anything. And the other person has to basically kiss your ass and brown nose and appease and tiptoe around you. No matter what. That's why I say this system is stupid. It is. And that's a fact. It's protected classes. This is the country that we in. We are so soft that we have protected classes. Everybody's so worried about offending people. That's why I don't believe in cancel culture. I just made a video where I said that even if I think that jokes about something are in bad taste, they should still be able to happen. It's just ridiculous, man. It gets so exhausting to sit up and listen and to have to do this and know that if you want to work in corporate America, this is your reality. If you want to work jobs like in a professional setting, this is your reality. It's your reality. Everything you work for, everything that you believe in or stand for, it could all be derailed just because of your principles and what you stand for. It's a joke, man. Like, and I don't know what else to say about it. It's just it's it's a joke. I'm not gonna sit here and long stroke y'all. I don't have like some long soliloquy planned out. I just want you to know that this is the reality. This is the world that we live in. Those of you that work, you know what I'm talking about. And just literally the fact of you being Christian and conservative and standing on your beliefs. We hear about it all the time. We hear about it all the time with these people that sit up and that gay couple that made a Christian bakery that took them to Supreme Court because they wouldn't make them a cake. You don't have a choice. You can either resist and face the consequences or submit. It's not right. Let's just be real. But we know it's not right. But what are you going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Because at the end of the day, the only choice you really have is to just become bigger than whatever you're trying to do. But nobody is above at least them going after you. How long are we going to just sit here and just allow this weakness, this overall weakness as a people to just continue to run our lives? Isn't it exhausting? Keeping up with different letters, acronyms, trigger words. I'm just fed up with it, man. You know, it is what it is. You know, I'm not gonna cap. It is what it is. But I'm just here to get my unfiltered perspectives on it, because harassment, sexual harassment, all that kind of stuff, I'm against it. If you're harassing employees like other people, you should be punished. But when it comes to this protected classes thing, that's where we have to draw the fine line, because basically all you're doing is saying that this group of people is given free reign to basically cry wolf as much as they want and not have to face any consequences or any repercussions. And if you offend that person because they are in a protected class, you automatically become a harasser. How does that make sense? Like I said, I'm not gonna hold y'all, so you know.